Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial brought to you by Programium. As you know, this is ninth video for our Java playlist, and in this video we will be talking about conditional statements. So guys, what are these conditional statements and how to use them, and what are the benefits of using these statements in our Java application? We will see in our IntelliJ IDE. So without any further delay, let's get started. Now guys, as you can see that we have opened our IntelliJ IDE, let us quickly create a Java class here by the name of conditional in Java. So let us put our main method here. To understand how to use and what are these conditional statements, let us see a scenario. We will make a variable by the data type of integer, and its name would be numbers, and create a scanner object, sorry. Now we will be shouting to user, please enter your numbers, please enter your number, and then we will store that value in this variable. Here what we want to do right now is that if that user enters number greater than 90, then we will assign him a grade, and if the user enters number greater than 80, that means we will assign him B grade. So guys, now you can imagine what are these conditional statements. Put a comment here. So how many types of conditional statements are there? Are first if conditions, second is if else conditions, third is switch conditions, fourth one is if else, conditions, fifth one condition here that we named as nested if else. So guys, now we know how many condition or conditional statements totally exist. So now we will see first what are these if conditions. You can see that here we created a variable by the name of numbers and shouted the user to enter your number, and after that we stored that number in number variable. So what now? We will use a condition by the name of if. We will say number is equals to 90, then we will simply shout him you got a grade. Okay, so this is the syntax of the if conditions. So guys, one more thing to clarify these if conditions: if weather is not rainy, then you don't have to take umbrella with you. But what if the weather is rainy, then of course you have to take umbrella. Then we will put else here, else you have one with you. So guys, this is the basic syntax of our if else conditions. You can say that if this is happening right now, then you have to do this, and if this is not happening, then else you have to do that. So guys, we have taken input from the user and check if that input is equals to 90, then we will assign him a grade. But what if the user got another value? So we will simply write here else and type here south and prompted the user that you didn't get a grade. Okay guys, now we will be running this file. So please enter your number. I am entering 90 here, and now we got A grades. So guys, you have seen the output of the previous program. Let me again run it and enter a number 80, and now you can see that you didn't got A grade. Again I am running this, and I would enter here 93, and it would again say you didn't get a grade. So why that? Because we only put a condition that if number only equals to 90, then only show these grades. But if user enter other numbers except 90, then if that number is greater than 90, then of course we have to sort this statement. So guys, these was the if conditions. So we will take our program further. Let me comment out this, because I will be sharing this source code with you guys, and this will help you a lot. Let me do something more here. So what are we going to create right now? We are going to create an ATM machine menu. So I hope so that every one of you have used ATM machine. So of course you would be very familiar to what are the options that an ATM machine prompted the user before starting transactions. So we will be declaring an integer here, and we can say that pin, and we can initialize here 2244. Just for an example, we will initialize that this is the pin of a specific user. So I have prompted the options here, and now I am creating a scanner object again. Input is equals to new scanner system dot in, and I would enter the user. Please enter your pin. So guys, I am taking pin from the user, but one more thing I would like to modify here. I would call this integer user pin, and I am creating another integer variable here. So this would be the pin that the user will enter to validate with this user pin here. Okay, so I have prompted the user to enter a pin. Now we will store this pin by using input dot next int. So let me put a semicolon here. Guys, there would be only two possibilities here. One is that the pin would be equals to user pin, and let me put a bracket here, braces here, and there would be else where there would be no resemblance in between two pins. that means that the pin is different than the pin stored here. So guys, we have created an if else statement here because there would be only two possibilities. The user pin would be the same as we used here, or the pin would be different. So guys, these what we will be doing here, if the user pin and the stored pin are the same, then we simply shout here welcome to our ATM. Welcome to our ATM. Okay, we will use asterisks just for styling. So guys, now we have welcomed our ATM user. Now what we have to do, we will say, do you want to do any transaction? And again I am writing here shout enter yes or simply no. Okay guys, now we have prompted the user to enter, to select menu, our menu. So we will be storing this yes or no into this variable dot next. Okay, fine. So now I am using again here if else. So I'm telling you what is the syntax of this if condition. First we have to write if here, if here, and after that you have to use these brackets, and after that you put curly braces either on the next line or like this syntax. But I use this kind of notation or syntax here because I like this syntax. Using this kind of syntax no problem, but it looks ugly. So this is the syntax I would be using throughout this course. So here is the condition in these brackets that we want to test. So what we are testing this option. So let me say that option, if option is equals to yes, then we will simply say your transaction is completed, goodbye. Okay, so if that option is equals to yes, then we will simply see out this shout this string to the user. But if there are any other possibilities like no or whatever the term user used, we will simply say shout we will say no transaction made. Again I am writing here goodbye because the user selected to exit. So guys, this was the program that we have created right now. You can also minimize or maximize these conditionals or areas because they would prove very effective when you create larger programs. So guys, here we validated that the user entered pin should be equals to this pin that is stored here. But what if that these users pin or the pin entered by the user doesn't match? So we will simply say that your pin is incorrect. Okay guys, so let me remember this pin 2244 and run it. So I am first pressing 1122. So you see that your pin is incorrect and we didn't see our menu. Let me again run this, and this time I'm using 2244. Here the program is asking the user, welcome to our ATM, do you want to do any transaction? I would simply say yes, and no transaction made, goodbye. Why we are seeing this here, no transactions? It should have to print this here. So guys, here is a error I would like to show you. uh, First we have to remove this and say here option and put a dot here, and there you can see that equals to lowercase, get bytes, a lot of options here. Equals, let us use equal here, and what I am using here, I am using here yes. So let me run this and then I will explain what was this logic. Enter your pin 2244 and I am saying yes, and it is saying your transaction is completed, goodbye. So let me tell you why. Guys, if you are using an integer, float, double and long, then you can use these two equal signs to check these variables are same or not. But if you are using string here, then you don't have to use these two double signs here. Let me write this again. Let me put some spaces around it and use option, and you just have to enter dot, and you would see a lot of these methods or functions that you can use for your age. Let us see what does this equals. We have to use equals here. Guys, I would be creating a video about how to use all of these functions. So until then, just you remember that we have to use equal to check if our string variables are same or not. So let me again run this and show you the results of our application. So I am using in our pin is 2244 and I am saying yes. It would say your transaction is completed, goodbye. But what if we enter another string other than yes? So I am using here no and no transaction made, goodbye. So guys, this is the our ATM or automated teller machine menu. I know this is not the very advanced, but for beginners it is a very cool project, and we will modify this project when we cover loops here, and all of our conditional statements and all our operators. So we will be creating a mega project about this ATM machine. So guys, as you can see that we have covered if conditions, if else conditions. Let me just put this nested if here and take the switch on fifth place. So what three terms are left: if else if, nested if and switch conditions. So guys, now we will be covering if else if conditions. Let me just comment this out, and I would simply say here no, I am using this type of comments because they look very pretty, and I am using here if else conditions. So okay guys, this is the if else condition. Let me remove spaces from here, and now what we are going to do here guys, we will be creating our Java application related to if and else if conditions. So without any further delay, let's see what are these conditions. Guys, I have copied these lines from this if else condition because we are modifying this program here. Let me just erase these all contents and tell you what would be the mission of this program. So let me just write a comment here: a better number system program for our school. as you can see that you are very familiar with this code. Now we will be using if condition here to check if number is equals to 90, then we would say South, you got a grade. Okay, now what are these else if conditions? You simply have to write else and again if and then this. So guys, I am telling you, let me tell you what is the benefit of these else if condition and why do we use this condition. Remember, in this scenario we just take a 90 number here, and if that number is equal to 90 then we got A grade. But what if we want to show someone B grade and C grade, and if we use else here, then only 90 would get A grade and all other don't get A grades. So to handle these conditions, when we want to show the user that you can enter other values and add those values, you would get these points. So I am using here numbers is equals to 80. So I would shout the user you got B grade. Okay guys, so I am again entering another else if condition, and other I am putting an other condition here. But if the user enters 70, then we have to shout the user that you got C grade. Okay, but what if the user got numbers that are equals to 60? We would say you are a failure. Okay guys, so guys, this is how to use these if else conditions. Let me again run this. Please enter a number. I am entering 60 here and you would say you are a failure. I am again running this, and this time I would be entering 70 and you got C grade. Now I am entering 80 and you would see B grade. Now I am again running it, but this time I would enter 85 here and you would say nothing appeared because we didn't put any condition except these numbers. So I am again using an else here, sorry. So that would say unexpected number. So what would happen if the user entered 90, 80, 70, 60, then these sort conditions would be displayed to that user. But if the user enter another number except these four numbers, that user would see this unexpected number. Let me run it again and just show you how our program would be affected. I am entering here 55 and you would say unexpected number. So guys, these are the if else conditions. Let me just remove the spaces here, put a space here, that would be better. So these are the if else conditions. So what's left guys? We covered if conditions, if else if conditions, and nested if else. So guys, we have covered these nested if else conditions. Let me tell you what these conditions mean. These means that you embed more than one if else in one if else. What does that mean? Let me show you. Here in our ATM machine you would see that we have and first created an if condition here, and after that we again created an if else condition here within this condition. So guys, these are known as nested if. Let me use here nested if else. What is left behind? We left switch behind because we covered all of these conditions here. Now I am going to comment out these lines. So guys, why do we need switch conditions when we have these if else, nested if else, etc.? Let us see why we need switch conditions. Remember here we use a lot of if here, like if number is equals to this then do this, and else if do this, else if do this, and if don't this then do this. So what I would like to show you here, switch conditions are actually a shorter way of doing all of these works. They do exactly the same thing that if else do, but switch conditions do this work very efficiently and in shorter lines of code. So let me again write a integer here, which I would say here choice, and created a scanner object by the name of input new scanner system.in. Okay, so I'm using entering, prompting the user to enter your numbers and storing them in this variable. So what I have to do to use these switch conditions? First I would like write here switch, and in these brackets I have to use the variable on which the on which the condition is applied. So I am applying switch condition on this choice variable because we like to validate this variable. So there are cases in switch conditions, so I will write here case, and what should be the case? If user enter 90, then press a colon and enter. Okay, here we will see, right, sorry, you got a grade. Okay, and after that we have to use break here. Again I am writing case here, and what should be the case? I am using case 80, and shift colon. Again I am shouting you got B grade. Again I will use break here, and again case 70 and shout you got C grade, and again break. Again case would be 60 here, shout you got what have we right here, failure. You are a failure. Again a break here, and one more thing guys, we have used an else here, that if none of these values match with this input, you just have to show this message to the user. So in switch conditions we use default, and we print here unexpected number. So also use break here. So guys, let me show you again what is the syntax of this switch condition. First you have to write switch condition and these brackets here, and after that in between these brackets you have to use a variable or something on which you are applying these conditions. After that use a curly braces, and these are the curly braces empty, open and close braces, and you have to use the case here and the value of this variable on which you want to apply the condition. After that condition you have to use this break condition everywhere. What happened here, if the user enters 90 and it matches with this, it would show this message to user. After that it reads this break here and exit the program. But if we don't use break here, then the compiler would also print this message until that break comes. So at every case you have to use this break, and after that at the end of every switch condition you have to put default, because if the values don't match with these cases, then the user would only see this unexpected number, and again that break. Let me run it and show you the results. So enter your number. I am entering 90 and you got A grade. But I would like to show you a demo what would happen if I comment out this break. Enter number 90 and you would say you got A grade, you got B grade. So this was the thing I was talking about. Let me again put remove the comments from this break, and these are switch conditions, these are if else if conditions, and these are if else and nested if else conditions, and this was the only if else condition. So I would be giving this source code with you guys, but if you got any questions about these topics and any other programming related concept that you want me to make a video on that topic, just ask your question in the comments below and I would be trying my best to answer all of your questions. So if you don't understand the topic here or got any confusions about any of the topics, you are free to ask me in the comments below. So enough for this video. In our next video we will be talking about the remaining operators that we left behind. So until then, subscribe our channel, like our videos and share with your friends. Goodbye.